Brittney Griner sentenced to 9 years in Russian prison on drug charges. Prosecutors had asked for a 9.5-year sentence for the WNBA star. After Thursday's verdict, attention will turn to the potential for a prisoner swap between the United States and Russia. WNBA star Brittney Griner was sentenced to 9 years in Russian prison after being convicted on drug charges by a Moscow court. Thursday, prosecutors asked for a sentence of 9.5 years after closing arguments in a lengthy trial that has underscored the frayed relations between the United States and Russia since the Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine. Griner pleaded guilty last month to charges that carry a maximum sentence of 10 years. In a final plea for leniency Thursday, an emotional Griner apologized and repeated that she never intended to break any Russian laws but that she had made an honest mistake. Just hours later, Judge Anna Sotnikova returned to announce she had been found guilty of drug possession and smuggling. Griner will also have to pay a fine of 1 million rubles, $16,590, but can appeal the verdict. After Thursday's verdict, attention will turn to the potential for a prisoner swap between Washington and Moscow. U.S. officials are not expecting rapid movement in the effort to get Griner released, but will keep pressing the issue, a U.S. official told NBC News. And quote, "Today, American citizen Brittney Griner received a prison sentence that is one more reminder of what the world already knew. Russia is wrongfully detaining Brittney," end quote. President Joe Biden said in a statement shortly after the verdict was announced. End quote. "It's unacceptable, and I call on Russia to release her immediately so she can be with her wife, loved ones, friends, and teammates. My administration will continue to work tirelessly and pursue every possible avenue to bring Brittney and Paul Whelan home safely as soon as possible." End quote. Griner's legal team said they were end quote, very disappointed end quote, by the verdict. End quote. The court completely ignored all the evidence of the defense, and most importantly, the guilty plea, end quote, her lawyers said in a statement sent on the Telegram messaging app, adding that they will file an appeal. Griner, 31, was detained at Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport in February, Russian authorities said. They found vape canisters with cannabis oil in her luggage. Griner, a center for the Phoenix Mercury and a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, admitted the canisters were hers. She said she took them to Russia unintentionally. One of her lawyers, Alexander Boykov, told reporters during the trial that Griner was in a hurry as she was packing and that the vape cartridges ended up in her luggage by accident. The Kremlin has been accused of using Griner as a political pawn, while the Biden administration has been under growing pressure from her family and teammates to secure her release. The U.S. government has proposed that Moscow release Griner and another American, Paul Whelan, who is serving a 16-year sentence for espionage, in exchange for convicted Russian arms dealer Victor Bout, according to two sources familiar with the matter. White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told reporters Monday that Russia responded in bad faith to the U.S. government's offer with one of its own. "We don't see it as a serious counteroffer," she said. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, last week, the highest-level diplomatic engagement between the two countries since the Russian invasion of Ukraine in February, to urge the Kremlin to accept the U.S. offer. Blinken called it a frank and direct conversation, but declined to characterize Lavrov's response. The Russians responded by urging the U.S. to refrain from speculation and pursue quiet diplomacy. Instead, former U.S. Marine Trevor Reed, who was freed from a Russian prison in April, had earlier said he believed the White House was not doing enough to help free Griner and Whelan. In May, the State Department reclassified Griner as having been wrongfully detained and transferred oversight of her case to its presidential envoy for hostage affairs. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has denied Griner is being held as a hostage. President Joe Biden spoke with Griner's wife, Cherelle Griner, last month. He also sent a letter directly to Griner after she sent him a handwritten note pleading for help to get her released. On Thursday, Griner was led into a cage inside the courtroom in handcuffs, wearing a gray-colored shirt. Before the proceedings began, she displayed a photo of her teammates from the Russian club she played for in the WNBA offseason. Her lawyer Maria Blagovolina called prosecutors' requests for a strict sentence nonsense. Her defense team called into question some of the expert analysis used in the case and said Griner did not have proper interpreter access during her arrest. They also pointed out Griner's many athletic accomplishments, including in Russia. Her lawyers reiterated that Griner has only used cannabis medically, and has never used it in Russia. They asked for Griner to be acquitted or be given the most lenient sentence possible. As Griner addressed the court after the closing arguments, her voice trembled as she apologized to her fans, family and teammates for any embarrassment or damage that she may have brought on them. She called the Russian city of Yekaterinburg, where she played, her second home. I never meant to hurt anybody, she said. I never meant to put in jeopardy the Russian population. I never meant to break any laws here. In previous hearings, her defense team argued that, like many other international athletes, Griner, a 6'9" native of Houston who plays for Russia's Ural mining and metallurgical company Ekaterinburg in the offseason, uses medicinal marijuana to help with injury pain. Griner's legal team has also tried to build her defense on her image as a role model, and positive contributions to global and Russian basketball.